All right, y'all. Hood politics with prop. So I'm starting a series here that's not gonna be like every, it's not gonna be back to back, not like a mini series, like behind the police or something, but just something to come back to. And one of which is I just want to walk y'all through the American hellscapes. All these cities that our president is telling us are just unlivable, just horrible places for people to live and work and survive. Like you can't even wear your watches anymore, And my biggest thing about hearing stuff like that is like, I mean, have y'all been to the cities that he's talking about? Like, do you know anyone that lives there? Like, why would you just believe that? I feel like it's such a fixable problem, but it's also, if you, like I said, like how this show works, like if you understand the hood, you grew up in the inner cities, you understand politics. People have been saying this about us, whether you Black, you Latino, or you from the inner city. These are the things that we've lived with forever, where it's just like you have this narrative about it. Just pull up, like just come through, act like you got some home training, and you will be treated well, right? So anyway, so to kick this off, I wanted to start in Memphis. Am I saying it right?
Are you close?
I'm close. It's too much. I got too much LA in me.
No, one of my favorite things is when Prop gets into his like Southern dialect bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because my granny, because our granny from the
I
South.
feel it every time. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll talk about his grandma. Like it's go to, it's coming out. I love it, bro.
Yeah, everybody in LA, they granny from the South. Like we're all like, transplants from there. But anyway, my man Bartholomew Jones, Coffee Black, we've had him on here before when we were doing the terraforming stuff about making coffee black again and sort of the specific movements of how he was trying to like uplift, bring the Blackness back to coffee, reclaim some narratives here and just what he's doing as a business owner that's not just about business, but about the community and being like, rooted in a place that you exist in and work in and has given so much to you and you just want to give back. So this one is not so much about the coffee, although that's going to come up because we are us, but this is more about what it means. Like, I just want him to come on here and just gush about Memphis. Like imagine I pop in and I'm like, okay, I got 5 days. I got 5 days in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, make me fall in love with Memphis. So that's really what's happening here. So we're gonna go ahead and start with your personal narrative. Okay, so Coffee Black, generational member of Memphis. Give me some history.
Yeah, man. So I've grown up my whole life in Memphis. My father grew up his whole life in Memphis. His father moved to Memphis from Arkansas after his father, lost the land. They had about 90 acres or so in Arkansas, where he was actually not a sharecropper. And that's a big part of my dad and my granddad would say all the time, we are not sharecroppers, you know what I'm saying? And it was
that's big.
It was a big thing for us, bro. They were not able to keep the land that they were working. They kept the soft skills, they kept the social capital, and all of that kind of translates. So like business ownership has always been a part of my legacy. My family has been, either supporting through my granddad had like 4 or 5 jobs, 2 or 3 businesses he ran, plus working with other people. That's just been a part of history, man. So we, South Memphis specifically. So if you know about that, you know about that. And
so okay, no, pause. Okay, if you know about that, assume we don't. What are we missing? Like in the sense that, like, what do you not know is truly South Memphis? You know what I'm saying? Like, where you're like, oh, you remember this song that y'all left? That's South Memphis,
right? If you think about Young Dolph, right? Historically, very beloved artist, like that's South Memphis right there. You know what I'm saying? So PLE, that's South Memphis. A lot of those artists that are coming out from there. And when you think about South Memphis is actually like the quintessential Black neighborhood in Memphis. Of course, There's a history in North Memphis too, but a lot of social history. You think about Ida B. Wells, right? Like she had a lot of her initial work was in South Memphis. She actually like her activist work started out like writing a letter against or a series of letters against a lynching that happened from a grocery store called People's Grocery in South Memphis. You know what I'm saying? South Memphis has like had a lot of history there. So even with People's Grocery, that particular store, Black owned, you've had like some of the first Black millionaires in South Memphis. There was a thriving history there. And of course, that wasn't beloved by some of the folks outside of that community. And so you have come into this Black owned grocery store. The story goes that two kids were playing outside. One kid was a Black kid whose parent was in the store. The other kid was a white kid who was outside. They were playing jacks. You know what I'm saying? If you remember jacks. And Black kid wins. The white kid's parent comes out, his dad, and, you know, starts saying that the Black kid was cheating and so on and so forth. They're like, nah, that's disrespectful. This is our store. Of course, your kid just lost. Anyway, long story short, you come back, the store's been burned down that night. Several people got lynched. And this was in the middle of like a bustling, thriving Black-owned community. And this incident is what kind of instigated Ida B. Wells, which is, I think, in a lot of ways indicative of the history of Memphis because, you know, we think about things being burnt and things being bitter and things being desolate, but these are ruins, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these are places that have been ransacked and pillaged. And People's Grocery is a perfect example of a place that the only reason why you ransack or pillage a place is because there's wealth.
There's wealth.
Right. And so like there was wealth there. And, you know, when we get into it, I'll talk about how there still is. But that history now, you think about South Memphis, we think about drugs and crime and BDs and bad school, these narratives that are out there. But like South Memphis was the first flourishing Black-owned neighborhood filled with millionaires and musicians and grocery stores, whatever the antithesis of the desert is. And then because of that, jealousy towards that or envy towards that or hate towards that or maybe a sense of inferiority, I'm not sure. Because, I mean, there were still tons of Jim Crow happening. You know what I'm saying? So like people were not actively being oppressed. They were just thriving in spite of that. Right.
I love that point. I wish I could, like, this is where I wish I could be like a Cornell West level history teacher, like where you could just change that narrative or that perspective of like, it's in spite of, you know what I'm saying? It's not because, like, when you say, okay, you hear a lot of like now these like new white supremacists, like these new ones is weird, right? But they're like, listen, ethno states, meaning like ending, you know, keeping us segregated is actually good. And they're like, well, look, man, like Japan's flourishing because it's an ethno state. They're like, look, they're like, look, man, you look at Finland and Scandinavia, like, they have, it's like a utopia because they just don't allow diversity. You know what I'm saying? So then they look at what you just argued and they said, no, look, Jim Crow was good for Black people, just like they knew Baby Martyr, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Kirk, you know, was like, I think the civil rights movement was bad. He's like, listen, you guys had Black-owned businesses, you had this, you stayed in your community, your money stayed in your community. He's like, I understand what the problem is. Let's go back to segregation. And it's like, no, it's in spite of segregation.
And I think part of the piece that's missing there too is I don't think white people like segregation. Because like when you think about this of how I don't even mean in the way you would think about it first, but like they were at the store. Nobody
came and shopped at the store.
You wanted to be at the store. I don't know if because the chicken was smacking at the store. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But there was the desire to be in the community that God actually created us to be in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even though the segregation was forced, there were people who were like, yeah, but I want to go over there. Yeah, but I want to go to Bill Street. Yeah, but I want to listen to BB King. Yeah, but I want to hear W.C. Handy. Like, there is a desire for and you even see that now, like so much of the cultural export of Memphis, whether it's the Blues or the Grizzlies or Six Mafia or people, you know what I'm saying, Gotti, like, or when we talk about, you know what I'm saying, Flipper, like the cultural export, the barbecue, the fried chicken, so much of what's loved about the city by everyone who is here, right, comes from these Black seeds that for some reason are so despised. And it's like, yo, you even in your spirit, you know that this is not how God intended us to live because you ain't living like
exactly.
Segregation was what people really wanted. There wouldn't be all these mixed babies on slave plantations.
Come on now.
be, you know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
Shared cuisine, you know what I'm saying? We German cooking styles and fusing with like my brother right here is Gullah Geechee, and that how you get schnitzel style chicken on a plate. You know what I'm saying?
And
like
bouillon and no, I'm with it.
People desire, even like mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is a black man enslaved getting sent out to Paris and bringing the techniques. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that's so beautiful. My brother Steven Zinnerman here, he's our new assistant manager. They actually just moved to Memphis, so they just moved. He's from Georgia, Augusta. And they lived in Jersey. He's a coffee roaster. Now they just moved their whole family to Memphis. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that they're bakers and chefs as well as coffee roasters and baristas, and they've been baking these Gullah Geechee snacks or desserts called like a chewy, which has a whole history to that joint. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like black folks. Where Steve, would you want to talk about that song?
You here?
Yeah, he here.
All right, Steve, come to the mic.
Yo, mic up.
What's up with it?
What's going on with you?
Oh, what's up, boy? Wait, okay, now I see who he is.
Yeah, man. Just real quick.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say this history is the gospel.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what was told to me.
Okay.
And I got the recipe from one of my aunties. My auntie Lee Eunice gave me this recipe of Chewies.
Your auntie what now? Say it again.
Her name is Lee Eunice.
I love it. Black as hell. Okay, go on.
Yeah, man. My auntie, she gave me this recipe a couple of years back, man. We always had it when we was kids. And we were running around, little churn, want something to eat.
Yeah.
And going on over to the table and get one of them chews over there. So we get one of them at one of the family events. And as I got older, went to culinary school and everything, started learning a little bit. And then a lot of the older people in the family, they just start dying off. So you just want to learn history. Yeah. You want to keep the recipes from our parents, grandparents, aunties. And I just asked her one day, Auntie Lee, can I get that recipe from you for the Chewies? And the history goes from what I was told by another family member that back in the day, it looks like a brownie. If you don't know, it looks like a brownie. It eats like a brownie. The inside is a little bit more chewy. So that's
that's why it's called that. Yeah.
But we couldn't afford chocolate. Or it was a delicacy, or it was a privilege to have chocolates. But we still knew how to bake, still knew how to do something with the little that we might have. And it came up with Chewies. It's flour, brown sugar, eggs, a little bit of sea salt, or salt.
Yeah.
Some vanilla. And you melt it. It's like the straight dough method. Yeah. Mix and melt it down in a pot, spread it in a cookie sheet, bake it 25, maybe 30 minutes, and cut it and eat it. And that's
it's a delicacy.
It's a delicacy. And people have been doing that for their children for a long time. And
I love it.
And my aunts and my uncles, my grandma, they did it for us when we was little kids.
Amazing. So, thanks for that, man.
Bro, I love this joint. You know what I'm saying? They're like, it's almost like, oh, you had pecan pie, like the feeling of a pecan pie. That plus a blondie. You know what I'm saying?
That's absurd.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think what people are reacting to is they're seeing a culture and a history that is so unique and so regional, but at the same time, they're seeing themselves in it. And like, these is not black folks who come in, like, we can't keep these Chewies in stock since they've been making them. Like the Chewies in here, you know what I'm saying? They gone. Yeah. I think that's such an example of like this clear blessing, you know what I'm saying, of people making good things because they are made in the image of a good creator. And people kind of like, your appetite is telling on you.
I think that there's something to that in the sense that like what I remember and loved about Memphis, especially when I tie it to history, which is in a lot of ways is something that growing up out west I don't necessarily have, is the length of history and culture to pull from, in the sense that, with like California was Mexico, like this was something else, you know what I mean? But I think that there's like, I didn't grow up in a world in the way that you did to be like, well, man, you're, the grocery store, the bank, your principal, you know what I'm saying? Like they was all black, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't necessarily see that in a way that a lot of people who grew up in the South did. Of course we did, because we're part of LA. Was from, of course, his father was Black Panther. It was plenty of black people, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. My third grade teacher, Miss Spears, you know what I'm saying? But for her, this is a black woman, but we were in she taught at a Latino neighborhood school, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where I lived, but she was like a studio. She was the official background singer for Whitney Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like so she sang, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that was but for us, that's LA, to where you're just like, look, dude, like everyone's gorgeous. Everyone's talented. We're all out here together. The streets are dangerous, but just act like you got sense. It is what it is. Right. So I think that like you having this like longer history of saying, I can look at this building, I know this corner for generations, was an example, like you said, the first black billionaires. I think it's also important with music, whether it's the Motown sound or what was going on in Nashville, the players were from Memphis. Like the people that actually
Motown, we got to talk about Soulsville in South Memphis.
That's what I'm trying to say. The actual musicians.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's also South Memphis, right? It's Stax
exactly.
Records, what we talking about.
Stax Records.
Yeah, dog. We talking about Isaac Hayes. We're talking about the songs like Green Onions. Are known all over the world. We're talking about it's the staple singers. So much of what is the soul music sound like. I say soul music was created in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? And it was exported and polished in Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Where, like, they really commercialized the sound. But when you talk about that gritty, so many hip hop samples came from Stax Music Records for a reason.
Yeah, I know. It's got a swing. And the way the drums hit, like this is again such a huge part of even saying the word soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a huge part of Memphis culture. And so when you think about these things, of course, Memphis is not just the crime. It's not just the it is the things that were here prior to it that many times were the reason why someone came and plundered us in the first place, was because there was gold there. You know what I'm saying? Love that. You got plundered. So unfortunately for you and I, like we were born in that era. The era of, the post-plundering. We grew up in the ashes of a once beautiful civilization and had to create something out of what we had, right? So, me being a product of like, the crack epidemic and in the street sweepers and the militarization of the police and LAPD, like, which gave us gangster rap, which gave us, the graffiti culture, and a lot of the things that, are in galleries now, you feel me? And are,
we're a whole building.
And mimicked. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And all over the world, So I think, whether it's, trap music, obviously it's specifically Atlanta, but either way, it got dark. Like, don't like, I don't let anybody, I do not romanticize gang life. So I was gonna say, tell me about the darkness. You know what I mean?
And I think that this is a thing that is important. Like, we live here too. So if anyone knows that it is dangerous, if you want to find the people who can speak the most about it, like ask somebody who lived there, whose business has to go through the vandalism and the burglaries and we call them cone heads, you know what I'm saying? But like the cone heads coming up and shooting up on the joint, trying to get a couple dollars off some. Like we live here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I stayed in apartments next to the project, shared the gate. I remember seeing dead bodies in a bed sitting on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? Who had just got murdered. They was looking for a body for weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember we had the nice apartments, even though it was on the gate with the project.
Still,
They were like, oh, y'all got a pool. So I remember gang members coming and hitting the pool. You know what I'm saying? We like, we gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
it's time to go. Yeah.
it's a wrap. Like they hitting the pool, we might as well. And in Memphis, they call it slicing. So like there's a whole Zaire, who did the documentary for the Barista Exchange program.
Yeah.
She just did a short film that's won several awards on slicing, which is like a style of diving where Memphians, like, we'll have music playing. They'll keep
y'all just do
and then they just like
crazy dives, fully dressed.
Yeah, like it's like a whole thing, right?
It's a thing, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So was it dark? Yes, bro. Do I want to see more crime happen? Do I want to see more babies being hurt? Like, we can even talk about like the occupation here now currently, how like you'll see a lot of black folks being like, hey, I'm low key not mad. I ain't heard no gunshots in a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be like, my kids can go outside, and you can't take away somebody's desire to feel safe and for their family to, like, that's a real conversation that's happening. It's not simple. It's not just like easy kind of like, oh, this is bad, this is good. Like, it's like the city is experiencing complexity. I was a teacher for 10 years. You know, so shout out to the people who were teachers and then rappers and then into coffee. You know,
all of us.
In a elite group, you know what I'm saying? But like those are real things where like the school systems need to be improved. Like, they need funding. Like our communities do not have a lot of high paying jobs, a lot of factory jobs, you know what I'm saying, where people feel like it's mindless, soulless work. There's a lot of foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in our neighborhood. We do discipleship here. We do mentorship here. Like, I taught middle school for 10 years. I remember talking to a young man, and he like, I'm about to go kill these folks, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is his like third year in sixth grade. Big dude.
He's 14 years old. Yeah.
Well, homie, like, what's going on? And I taught his sister, and he was like, you know, I ran the hip hop club, so all the kids would come. You know, those. So I got a mix of like honor students and like kids who was heading to the trap house after they left. But him like getting to the bottom of it, he was like, bro, I'm hurt. Like, this man embarrassed me because he was a big guy, and his cousin had been talking down on his weight. And he was like, I feel disrespected, and it's hurt my. At the end of the day, his feelings were hurt.
He hurt his feelings,
And like, we don't have language to talk through what to do as a man, specifically as a black man, when your feelings are hurt. You have actual feelings, and they can be easily hurt. And now you got to figure out, what do you do when that happens? You know what I'm saying? And like, we even have a dearth of black men to be in a place to have a conversation with a young black man when he is in that process and don't know what to do. So there's several kinds of poverty, right? Not just the financial poverty, not just the poverty of opportunities to get jobs, but even the financial, like the poverty of people, right? To be able to get more information that you don't have access to, or like have an opportunity to get taught something or brought something that you need to put you in the right place. So it's real. Like, you gotta listen to 3-6, listen to Gotti, listen to Flipper, listen to music that's coming out of Memphis. You can hear. You know, you can hear, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in the music. You can hear
music. Okay, here we go. But there's
you know what I'm saying?
There's a number of things that you brought up in here. There is the civil rights, or like the black leadership of the 80s that were like, they were the like I said, they were the leadership when I was a child that were actually very much for this police state. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had this, and that's a critique of like a lot of like our parents and grandparents, to be like, y'all kind of wanted this because, like you just pointed out, in the short run, and the data proves it, in the short run, in the temporary, highly militarized zones do give a moment of peace and calm, right? It is just not sustainable, because in the same way that, like, you're a parent, like, if you go in there to your boys and you like, stop jumping around, go to bed, or I'm whooping y'all. And you know what I'm saying? The next time I come here, I'm whooping y'all. Yeah, they gonna shut up. Yeah, they gonna shut up. You understand what I'm saying?
Shout out to your kids for sure.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you leave. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. As soon as
when the whooping actually happened, then it's quiet.
It's gonna be quiet. Yeah. It's gonna be quiet for a little bit,
for a couple hours, right? And then it's like,
yes, exactly. And what that tells them, as a father, is like, you subconsciously know that, okay, you can't self-regulate, you don't know your emotions, and you don't actually care about us. You just want your own comfort. So the second you look away, or the second I realize you're getting older, and you actually ain't as strong as I remember you to be, then me and you gonna fight, because that's what you taught me. You feel me? There is no respect there. It's only fear, and fear is always looking for a way to rebel against it. So yeah, for that short term, it's like, yeah, Granny and them, right? Like, man, I mean, dang, we really ain't heard no gunshots. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like that's the same lesson you should teach to the streets. It's like, bro, this is short term. You think if you do the day bust, we bust, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get calm out here and you're just gonna be able to run your pharmaceutical activities, because it's like, well, no, bro, like this don't really make peace. You feel me?
This is the craziest thing when I realized, like, oh, like our city is really in a militarized zone. Yeah. Bruh, the cone heads, like the crack heads, bro, was lining their little bikes up next to the door. They was parking them joints, bro. Like, nah, bro, like normally it's like, they be on the little bikes, like the kid bikes. Like on somebody's porch, there's a grown man on that joint. And like normally they all over the yard, but they done like clean the yard up. They done pick the trash up. They done neatly put them next to the door, like making it look like it's really some order in the home. And I remember driving by like, yo, I ain't never seen that before.
Never
like
seen that,
really crazy. I put money, I got like a stolen espresso machine in that house somewhere.
Positive. Yeah, that's the other thing. You grow up, you see this nigga riding your bike. That is absolutely my bike. Like,
bro. And it's like, that's the crazy part, bro. Is like, okay, was it dark? Yes. And does this kind of forced military presence seem like it offers a solution to that? Does it solve some problems? Yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of people being like, yo, I'm glad about this. The complex piece is, and this is what I felt like, man, God put it on my heart to say, is like, I think the Republicans were right in a lot of ways, in the sense that so much of Trump's campaign was critiquing Democrats in the 90s, right? And they were critiquing the crime bill, right? And saying the reason why y'all are locked up and criminalized in a lot of ways is because of Democrats, many of whom were running against it, who were pushing for these super harsh punishments for black folks, that now we've had to say, hold up. 3-1 for crack cocaine actually ain't that great. Schools is actually not that great. And so it's been a talking point for a lot of Republicans and for a lot of our community who has wanted to kind of pursue conservatism. They're like, hey, like this actually wasn't great, right? We kind of got screwed over in this deal. What they talk about is that a lot of black leadership, to your point, was pro that as well. It wasn't just like people from outside our community saying, "Yo, like, look, we was like, I live next to this dude, lock him up." You know what I'm saying?
Get this nigga off.
This man, just, bruh. We got. I remember when we one robbery at the shop. We finally were able to get a dude on camera, talk to the police, bruh, get locked up, bruh. 2 weeks later, I hit, Omarion. Oh, hit me. One of the men from the shop who like been working with me since he was 10. Hit me like, hey, bro, dude in the shop. I'm like, I just talked to the attorney. What you mean in the shop? They like, bro, out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the Just Out Facebook page, man, picture of man out on R&R. You know what I'm saying? Reconnaissance. I'm like, live it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Then you start going through the like, why would this happen? It feels like a setup for me to have to go do some things that I spent my whole life not doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not the life I want to live.
There were moments in the that we knew that, like, I think I remember on Drink Champs, Quick and it was an interview with Quick and Problem, and they brought up something that I remember vividly, is like the police, during the gang sweep, the little street sweepers era, basically if it was two black people, y'all in a gang. So so if they would swoop you up, and then the police ask you a couple questions, trying to get you to snitch on somebody, and then, oh man, what is this, crack in your pocket? Oh, you got to get in the car, right? And what they would do is, rather than drive you to the station, they would just drive you to the other side of town. They would just drop you off in a rival hood. You know what I mean? And then would tell them like, hey, some niggas from over there, they in your block, to try to like make sure that like you said, the circular, like, so that we would eradicate ourselves. Eventually, we figured it out. Like, we as in Los Angeles streets, like, I was a little too young for some of this stuff, but like they would figure it out and be like, because no one with good sense would just walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't just wander into, you would know the borders. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't just wander into a rival neighborhood by yourself with no burner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, so niggas started just being like, because, we see each other in a holding tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who that is. We all went to junior high together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, dudes would just kind of be like, "How you good, homie?" You know what I'm saying? Like, "Hey, drop this nigga off." You know what I'm saying? Like, because we knew that like there was a force that was not, whether they was Democrat or Republican, that was not interested in our flourishing, right? So they were interested in our containment. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I was saying is like when I say I think the Republicans got it right in that there was a valid critique. A valid concern in the past. There's a present valid critique of a past valid concern in our community. And they're saying, hey, these Democrat leaders, they set y'all up, right? That was not real. My concern is a lot of the folks in our community who have levied that and who kind of echoed that during our current president's campaign are now willing to make that same kind of Faustian exchange.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing.
Now they're saying you're essentially promoting the war on drugs part 2 in these cities that are being militarized. You're promoting the crime bill part 2 or part 3.
Yeah, totally. It's just
but
their
this
version.
time, instead of it being Hillary Clinton, you're like, well, I'm cool with it if Trump does it. Or I'm cool with it if my governor does it. And I'm like, yo, if it is a really actual valid critique that what happened in the 90s, we can all look back and say, yo, I get it, but that wasn't the way to roll with it. Then it's definitely not the way to roll with it.
Still not the way. Yeah.
That's what we're seeing. Like, out of the people making these critiques are saying, well, yeah, that's happening, but it's kind of like collateral damage in order for us to get like safety for my own children. So I'm just going to turn a blind eye to what's happening to my immigrant neighbors because it's not going to affect me until it starts affecting you. And you with your expired tags that you haven't had time to go downtown and sit all day to get fixed, or your boss hasn't taken the time because they profit market super slim and they haven't fixed the tags on the company vehicle. Now you over and getting harassed by 15 officers from 17 different offices.
Which,
you know what I'm saying?
Which you don't know that you asked for.
I didn't know it was going to hit me too. Right? I didn't know. I'm just light skinned.
I just like
you look Dominican, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and even if I was like, damn, this the company card. Let me do this before we close, because me and you, we're gonna talk forever. But what I want to do is this. Let's just say I have 24 hours in Memphis. I land in the morning and I want you to curate this day. Money is no object, right? Just think that, like, don't worry about traffic. Just like you can just make this work. Where we going? Where we getting coffee? Where we going to breakfast? What are we going to do? What museum? What are we going to visit? Who we going to go see? Does it end at a Grizzlies game? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, bro. Say less. Okay. So you're going to start the sun up. You got to go to the coffee club, Coffee Black.
Of course.
Of course. They're going to pull you a double shot of a natural anaerobic Ethiopian Guji from the homies Tamaru out there at Terewaji and Guji Zone. We'll hit you with a blessing. May the peace of God be on your house in this cup and on you. You know what I'm saying? We'll then slide over to hit Kitchen Laurel for breakfast sushi. You know what I'm saying? So
breakfast sushi.
Yeah, we're gonna hit the breakfast
sushi. Say more.
So this is, you know what I'm saying, twin. I go breakfast sushi plus the black pepper syrup. You know what I'm saying?
What is a breakfast sushi?
Okay, and then I go soy sauce. You know what I'm saying? On top of it, so you get the umami, sweet and sour, sweet and salty. So yeah, but my man breakfast, Kitchen Laurel over there in Midtown, they like 10 minutes from the shop. They going crazy right now, bro. So
what is it? Wait, hold on. What is a breakfast sushi? Like, I don't even know what that is.
So they take breakfast sausage.
Okay.
Right. I believe it's some sous vide eggs, like the Japanese style eggs. They chop them up. I don't know what else goes in there. I think it's cream cheese. Then they roll it in the sushi rice.
But it's a roll.
And then they dip it in pancake batter.
Shut up. Okay.
Then they dip it in pancake batter, deep fry it. and then they give you the black pepper. It almost tastes like cardamom, but he swears it's just black pepper that they like to the breakfast syrup with the steak sauce on top with pickled okra on the side. You feel me?
What is happening right now, bro?
It's crazy.
Okay,
bro. So, but as an aside, because I know we could talk all day, but like this whole James Beard, farm to table, regional cuisine, where people are. This is really emulating and celebrating Black innovation. Because once you get down to it, regional cuisine in the South, in a lot of ways, is just how different Black people made their rice.
I'm like, this is farm to table is just gentrified. I'm just like, bro, you mean like, being poor? You mean eating what you got? Is that what you mean? Garden
outside, and my grandma making me go hold the peas.
Go get the. We had my grandma had collard greens in South Central. Go out there, get them collard greens. Yep, exactly.
This whole thing, bro, is like if you're looking for culinary innovation, you got to look at poor people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got to look at cities like Memphis, where so much of this innovation has come. It's beautiful. Like, my man, get the swag. He's putting this thing together. He like, oh, we're gonna take the because it's like. It's a Black Memphis, Tennessee thing to eat rice for breakfast.
Okay, see,
a lot of folks don't know that, but like that's one of the things we want to do with the menu once we get everything fully popping in the new HQ. Like rice bowls for breakfast, but it's like we've been eating sweet rice and savory rice for breakfast. So the breakfast sushi roll is really just okay. I'm gonna have some sweet bread. We're gonna have rice. It's gonna be a little salty. It's gonna be a little sweet. Some sausage and eggs. That was a plate growing up, and my man was like, "Oh, this is basically sushi."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Brilliant.
That mug together is crazy. So we're gonna hit that joint for the breakfast
first. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna slide over to Hard Times Deli. So these are some of the homies who is also, I think he on that James Beard trajectory, but these are some white homies. You know what I'm saying? They going crazy. They doing this amazing, like just bro. They doing the chopped cheese. They doing the bro. This joint, the mortadella sandwich. I think they call it G Money, but it's basically a fried bologna sandwich. But just real bougie.
So that's for lunch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna hit that joint for lunch. Then for post lunch, you know what I'm saying?
Nigga, why are we just eating? Like, what else are we gonna do?
You said money was no object.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of food I just ate. Like, are we gonna go visit something?
Hey, yeah, I got you. But post lunch,
post lunch.
Our house cafe next to the
I've been there.
Grill. Yeah, that joint, bro, crazy. If you get a day where they doing the smoked wings and the mac and cheese. And the broccoli and cheese cornbread changed life.
Okay.
Changed life. Okay. So while we're in South Memphis at that point, we're definitely gonna hit up the Stax Museum. You know what I'm saying?
Go to Stax Museum.
They go into the deep history. And I'm partial to my daddy from South Memphis, you know what I'm saying? But like into the history of soul music and so much of the stuff that we love is coming from cities like Memphis, bro, and places who are moving here. And so like check out the music, check out the culture. Then we'll slide over to Unapologetic Records. Doing amazing work. Well, if you with me, we going to the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, of course.
Hit a quick cipher real quick, drop some bars, tap in what the homies are doing there. I think historically it's important to hit the Lorraine. You know what I'm saying? Let the digest. You got to process that pain because, as I said, like these things really did happen. You know what I'm saying? And so, like
for listeners, the Lorraine Hotel has been turned into an art exhibit museum. It's where Dr. King was assassinated. And I remember the first time I pulled up there. The way that the parking lot is, when you turn the corner, it's the exact like sort of framing of the famous picture when they're all pointing off the balcony. And I remember my heart skipped a beat. I was just like, it was like a movie scene where like the Spike Lee like moving sidewalk, when you just have like a moment that's like pulling in and zooming out. Like, whoa, when I saw that moment, I was like, oh my God, it's a real place. Because for me, again, I'm out west. I've never seen it in person. So seeing it in person, I was like, shooketh. Anyway, so you got to go there and process that.
Yeah, bro. And it's a real thing, man. Yeah. I think like even when we had the Barista Exchange program, taking folks there for them to see this history, it was such a visceral thing. Because so much of what's happened in Memphis has touched the world, whether it's Beale Street, which I think after we leave there,
we got to go to Beale Street.
To Beale Street, grab some food there, hit the FedEx Forum to see the Grizzlies do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Ja Morant, shout out to Right Foot Creek. And then leaving there, bro, I want to make sure we grab some barbecue. You know what I mean? So like I would definitely hit
that dry rub
spots in the city. Like Cozy Corner is a spot. Bang Barbecue, they more Texas style, but they a spot. Q Guard is doing some crazy things in the city. And like at that time, bro, I think like what people would just say, like, it's like, yo, the food is so good. Like, there's so much love here. I would, if I was still here, you know, I would take you by her house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sit down and she could talk with you, pray with you.
We
But
had
that's really what we do.
that's dope. We had a show once when I was on tour with Andy that we just popped up on one of the days that there was like a Bill Street, just like seemed like it was like a street fair. First they had a car show and it was just a gang of aunties and uncles up there, you know what I mean? Like, and it was just so gloriously black that I was like, this is I don't want to perform today. I just want to be here, right? So I spent most of the day there, and then after that we did our show. And the venue, I forget what the name of it is, but the back exit, like if you exit from backstage, it just goes right on to Beale Street. And it was like we just walked into a carnival, homie. I was like, and it was, and I remember because it was Andy's birthday, and I kind of got him drunk a little bit. he's also a lightweight, like Andy. That's why he doesn't really drink a lot, because he just doesn't have a tolerance for it.
Right.
But I was like, bro, you got to get. I was like, bro, get you like a slushy, man. I'm just like, it's a
Oh,
slushy.
you hit my man with this? Nah, bro. The slushy is dangerous, bro.
I know, because it's just
Jameson slushy.
Yes, because you think it's a slushy. You know?
Yeah, nah, bro. That's dangerous, bro.
Yeah, that was fun. Anyway.
Yeah, bro. But I think that's just a beautiful way. If we want to go more culinary and our stomachs are endless, I would also say hit Amelia Jeans.
Okay.
They're super elevated food, really great people. They carry the coffee too. But they do this like on the weekends. They do this burger that's made from like the steak shavings.
Yeah.
And that joint is insane, bro. But there's so many things you can hit in Memphis, bro. Like it's like there, and I think that's the surprising part. Like we had the folks from PBS out here who are shooting the film. They mentioned you too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm in the opening credits.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. Yeah. And they were like, "Yo, Memphis is amazing. Like this is not what we expected."
Yeah.
And we came willingly, and we wanted to feature you guys, but they were like, we're low key more concerned to be in LA than we are to be out here with y'all. Like everybody's been so inviting. So again, it's not that, you know, there isn't any crime here, but I think that we're choosing to address the crime in a way that that erases our beauty and our humanity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like nobody's saying don't address the crime, but we're like, bro, address like you killing the notes, my G. Like it's not different profile anymore. Like so hard. Like we should be enhancing what's beautiful here versus like erasing the folks who wanted the crime to be most.
My when I was teaching, I'll end with this, like to your point, when I was teaching, there was this kid, I've said this story on the show before, but this kid that used to show up like about 15 minutes late every time. He's a little cholo dude, right? But show up on his bike, he'd walk in and he'd be like, what did I miss? And I'm like, well, you missed the first 15 minutes of class every day, like, you know. And then finally I asked him, you know, at that point, you tardy 3 times, you taught, that's a truancy. You know what I'm saying? 3 truancies, I got to call the truancy officer. Now you're getting cited. So now you have a record, right? So rather than doing that, I just asked him, like, why are you late every day? He's like, well, I have to drop my little brother off at school first. So he's a freshman. So, but his dad was like kind of like a drinker. So he learned how to drive. So he would drive his brother to school, drive the car back home, and then take the bike to school for him. And I'm like, because he had to leave the car for his mom. So I'm like, okay, so here's how I make you not a criminal for doing the right thing is I just don't mark you as absent.
Yeah.
So I was like, so this is what I'll do for you, because I'm here and I understand what you're saying. So for you, I'm like, as long as you come in here every day with your work done, I'm never going to mark it. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You know that boy came in here every day with his work done? You know what I'm saying? Because he's clearly a responsible adult. Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? You just explained to me. Just explain to me you're not a criminal, that you're a responsible adult. So rather than treating you as such, because 8:15 is arbitrary, you are here taking care of you know what I'm saying? You got a dude outside selling selling bootlegs. Like, okay, is he trespassing? Yes, but hey, homie, how much you need to make today? I gotta make $300. Nigga, hold on real quick. Let me just go hit $300. Give me the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like that done.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Why? It's because I'm from here. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you so much, Coffee Black. Please tell them where they can find and order coffee and support what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Cxffee Black. No O, it's the X like Malcolm, you know what I'm saying? .com. And we'd love to get you hooked up. We're actually about to drop like our first course, little ebook scenario. So if you're into like how to make your coffee not boo-boo, you know what I'm saying? We got you, we'll sauce you up. And yeah, man, just continue to support these beautiful things, bro. So what I love about coffee is like every community and every farm and every seed has this like, it's like an adventure. You know what I'm saying? Like you get a chance to, if you do the work on your side to dial in, right? Like there's this really dope experience and they all different. So that's what I love about coffee. Check us out. But I think like, man, just check your community out. Like I think there's a lot of things where people are like, yo, I didn't know this was here because just moving the narratives we receive. And I think that's beautiful for us on the other side of that. So
okay, give me one Memphis phrase right now that like I would have no idea what you were saying unless I was from there.
Dad, okay, my wife is right here. So you got a very Memphis phrase? I don't know. I feel like you might have it.
I know a lot of music, so I might know, but like
you say green in the mug, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And that flogging, them ain't flogging, bro.
Man, flogging, green in the mug.
Yeah, they green in the mug. Flogging mean like you
Don't tell us. I'm gonna make them look it up. All right, there it is. Peace, respect.
Yeah, respect. Yeah.
Respect. All right, now don't you hit stop on this pod. You better listen to these credits. I need you to finish this thing so I can get the download numbers, okay? So don't stop it yet. But listen, this was recorded in East Los Boyle Heights by your boy Propaganda. Tap in with me at prophiphop.com. If you're into cold brew coffee, we got Terraform Cold Brew. You can go there.com and use promo code HOOD, get 20% off, get yourself some coffee. This was mixed, edited, and mastered by your boy Matt Osowski, killing the beat softly. Check out his website, mattosowski.com. I'm gonna spell it for you because I know. mattosowski.com, mattosowski.com. He got more music and stuff like that on there, so go and check out the heat. Hood Politics is a member of Cool Zone Media, executive produced by Sophie Lichterman, part of the iHeartMedia Podcast Network. Your theme music and scoring is also by the one and only Matt Osowski, still killing the beat softly. So listen, don't let nobody lie to you. If you understand urban living, you understand politics. These people is not smarter than you. We'll see y'all next week.